I just want to set the world on fire.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I am Nuke for Prayers and this is Fallout 4 Weapon Crafting with Mods. Today we have the Broadsider. Now with the Broadsider there is not much you can do with the appearance, so I'm restricting myself from using simple changes like changing the weapon to plasma using the WMX mod, and I'm going to actually focus on designs that change the weapon, give it a complete overhaul, whether it's the way it fires or the way it looks. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I'm going to get on with it. The first weapon today is the Broadsider LL. The Broadsider LL is basically a Liberty laser broadsider, but I also changed the appearance, adding the improved sniper barrel and the minigun shredder just to change the look of the barrel. The weapon is incredibly damaging as it is pretty much a Liberty laser. If you want, you could actually change the ammo type to energy cells using the WMX mod, but I didn't bother when making it this time. If you do, it actually increases the amount of damage that it does. Now this next weapon was purely an experiment that went completely wrong, the Broadsider Pistol. To make the Broadsider Pistol I changed the grip to one from a laser pistol. Doing so changed the way that the character actually holds the weapon, but it also breaks the barrel itself, making it appear the way it does on the picture. This weapon still is a Broadsider, and when you wield it with a power suit you actually hold it with one hand, but it just looks completely stupid and it doesn't really work that well. The next weapon is a remake of a weapon from a previous video, but I used the WMX mod this time, and that's the full auto Broadsider. The full auto Broadsider is exactly what it says it is. It's a Broadsider that works in full auto, and using the never-ending legendary mod you could just keep firing it like a machine gun. The only problem is that you get an excessive amount of recoil, so the weapon is best used as a form of artillery. Now to make this weapon all you need to do is use the WMX mod and convert it to full auto, and then add the never-ending mod from the legendary mods. Now I know I featured the full auto Broadsider in another video, and that one had a changed appearance and didn't use the WMX mod, so I figured for this one I would keep the appearance standard, and if you wanted to look at the older appearance you could go back to the other video for a reference. The next weapon is the Broadsider LB. This is basically a Liberty Bomb Broadsider, and even though this weapon does break the appearance of the gun, all it does is change the weapon into shooting Liberty Bombs, so you can fire mini nukes across a very great distance. And because this weapon uses cannonballs as its ammunition, you're basically getting a lot more power from them than you did before. The next weapon is the HM Broadsider, or Homing Missile Broadsider. The Homing Missile Broadsider uses the targeting computer from the missile launcher, which gives it the ability to fire missiles which home on targets if you actually want them to. The only mod you need to do this is any mod any weapon, so it's a very simple weapon to make, and it is also very effective in combat. The next weapon is the Scatter Nukesider. The Scatter Nukesider uses a mixture of appearance changes and the WMX mod to fire multiple nukes at a target instantly the moment you shoot. Now what you do to make this weapon is you take a beam splitter and you add that to the front. I used the junk jet long barrel for this weapon for appearance reasons, and because it actually does accommodate a muzzle so that it would actually have the split-in effect. I then used the WMX mod and converted it to little man ammunition, so it fires 1 mini nuke ammo and it will have about 5 or 6 mini nuke explosions. As you can imagine, this weapon is very good at long range, but it's not so good up close. However, because it just blows up on a particular location on your crosshair, it means that you can fire this across any distance at a really good accuracy rate. For the final weapon, I wanted to combine the Scatter Nukesider with the full auto Broadsider, but because of the way the mods work, you can't actually do that. But I still wanted the weapon to fire a cannonball and then have the nuclear impact. So what I did was downloaded a new mod called Cut Weapon Mods Restored. What this mod does is put back into the game weapon mods which were previously taken out. In the case of the Broadsider, it adds receivers. Each receiver will change the type of projectile that the weapon shoots, but still maintain it as a cannonball. So you can have an explosive cannonball and a high explosive cannonball. So the final weapon today is the FAS NB, the full auto scatter nuked Broadsider. To make the FAS NB, first of all, you must not have Cut Weapon Mods Restored installed until after you've built the weapon itself. So to build the weapon, you use the Institute Laser's full auto barrel. You then add the split beam attachment from the standard laser. I'm not actually sure if the Institute Laser one will work. I've not actually tried, but I know for sure that the standard laser one does. You then have to log out of the game. You then activate the Cut Weapons Mod Restored mod and then log back on. And then when you're back into your game, you change the receiver to the nuclear receiver. The final result is a weapon that will decimate an area completely like a nuclear carpet bomb. You can use a high explosive or you can use a standard explosive, but I decided to go for nuclear because that's just who I am. The fact that nuclear receiver actually slows down the auto rate of fire as well means that this weapon doesn't really suffer from much recoil, so it is a very versatile weapon to use, but I just like firing it up into the air and watching all the devastation around me. So that's all the weapons I have for you today, and I will leave all the mod links in the description. The next video will either be the Fat Man or the missile launcher, I haven't decided which yet, but the next 2 episodes will feature those 2 weapons, and then after that I will be doing another viewer suggestion video. Apologies that it has been a little while since I have uploaded a video, but I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.